everybody, and welcome to this video on the third degree equations. So the second part that we're having a look at, or the second step, is synthetic division. Now, first of all, I would like to point out that you don't have to do synthetic division. You could do long division if you would like to. However, in this video, I will be showing you how to use synthetic division to find out what is the rest of the factors once we've divided by the factor that we know. So the first step over here is what we have spoken about in the first video. Please have a look at it if you have not, is how to find a factor. So first of all, we find a factor, and then once we have a factor, we then divide our equation by that factor and find out what is the rest of the equation. So that is the step that involves synthetic division. So what we have is we will have our equation, and it's going to have this form being a third degree or cubic equation. And we will then find out by step one that we'll get some sort of factor. So then what we're going to do is we're going to do synthetic division. So what we first do is we're going to put in the division sign. It's upside down for synthetic division. And then what goes on the top row is the coefficients of x cubed, x squared, x, and our constant term. Now, please note that if there is no coefficient of x squared or x cubed, do not skip it out, but put a 0. It's quite important. Then over here, we're putting the factor that we are dividing by. So if k is a factor, so then we're going to divide by k. The first step is whatever that a value is to bring it down, and that's a. And then what we're going to do is multiply our factor with the term that we brought down and put that value in over here. We then add and then put that value over here, and then we repeat the steps until we end up at the last one. Now, if we are dividing by a perfect factor, this last one here should be 0. What this will leave us with is the first one would be the coefficient of x squared, the second one will be the coefficient of x, the third one will be our constant term, and then we should have a remainder of 0. So the last column is for the remainder. If we are dividing by a perfect factor, then we should get no remainder. Now, this might seem a bit strange, so let us have a look at an example. So here we have that we have to divide x cubed plus 2x plus 2x squared minus x minus 2 by x plus 2. So that means our factor, if we have x minus 2, that means that f minus 2 was equal to 0. So we are dividing by the minus 2. Again, I would like to tell you to change the sign, and I would like you to check this using the information from the first video. Now let us follow the steps that we have spoken about for synthetic division. So let us first draw in our upside down division sign, and we put in the coefficients of x cubed, x squared, x, and our constant term. So let us have a look at this. The coefficient of x squared, x cubed is 1, the coefficient of x squared is 2, the coefficient of x is minus 1, and the constant term is minus 2. Next, let's put our factor that we're dividing by over here, and we said that it is minus 2. And then we're going to follow the steps. Please pay attention so you can get the hang of it. It's quite simple once you do. So we take the first term down over here, so it's 1, and then we multiply. So minus 2 times 1 is minus 2. Then we add, and 2 minus 2 is 0. So then we repeat the step. We multiply minus 2 with 0, which is 0, and then we add, so we get minus 1. And then we repeat it again. So minus 2 times minus 1 is positive 2, and minus 2 and positive 2 added give us 0. This must be equal to 0 because we are dividing by a perfect factor. Now what we left with over here is this is the coefficient of x squared, this is the coefficient of x, and this here is the coefficient or the constant term. So when we divide this by our factor, what we get is x cubed plus 2x squared minus x minus 2 is equal to the one factor that we know, so x plus 2. And then what we have divided, so this here is x squared, and this is 0x, so we can leave it out, and minus 1. So if we divide this term by x plus 2, we get x squared minus 1. Please make sure that you've understood these steps. They're quite important. If you need to, please watch the video again. And please watch the other videos for more information on how to factorize a third degree equation or a cubic equation.